Hello and welcome to Exmoor National Park. I thought I'd just come online and give people a quick update about what's going on in the National Park. So at the moment, our advice for everyone is please don't come here, please don't come and visit. It's to stay home and save lives and protect the NHS. So my name's Patrick, I'm the Volunteer and Outreach Officer for Exmoor National Park. Usually I'd be saying exactly the opposite from that. My job is to try and get people to come to Exmoor and find ways to enjoy it, find ways to explore it. For the time being, our advice is please don't come here, please stay local to home, please stay close to home and do any exploring you're going to do from there in your daily walk. So usually my job is getting volunteers to come out and find ways that they can volunteer on Exmoor, both for the National Park Authority and for a number of other organisations as well. So the fact that we're asking people not to come and volunteer for the time being leaves us with a few things that we need to catch up on, a few problems with some long-term surveys that we're not going to be able to do this year. The first one that's coming up right now is the Exmoor Tree Condition Survey. This is all about phenology. Now, phenology is the study of natural processes and particularly how climates and how the weather sort of things affect them. So, for example, for the Exmoor Tree Condition Survey, we've been looking at a group of 90 trees, beech trees and oak trees, spread throughout the national park. We've been looking at them for the last 15 years. We've had volunteers going out twice a week to each of those 90 trees and studying them to see when their buds first burst and when they first come out fully into leaf. And there's a steady trend of this getting earlier and earlier over the last 15 years. So we're obviously not going to be asking people to do that this year because it involves far too many people travelling all around the national park, which is exactly what we do not want at the moment. However, there are ways that you can take part in this study from home. There's ways that you can do this in your garden, on a short walk from your front door, potentially even, depending where you live, looking out of an upstairs window or looking out of a window at the garden or across your neighbourhood with a pair of binoculars if you've got a set. There are ways that you can do this sitting from home. So both for the Exmoor Tree Condition Survey, which I'll show you a bit at the moment, but actually there are lots of parts of this phenology surveying, of this sort of signs of the seasons progressing, and we'll go through and have a look at some of them in a moment, and then I'll leave you with the website where you can do it. So to do it this year, we're teaming up with the Woodland Trust and their Nature's Calendar website. So we'll bring that up quickly. This is the Woodland Trust and their Nature's Calendar website. Let's take you back to the starting page. So to be able to do this survey, you need to sign up for an account. So they'll need your email address, and I think they take your postcode as well, so they know roughly which region you're going to be looking at. You then come onto the website. It's got a bit of information here about why they do it, and then you click on Start Recording. You can search for a species that you want to record for here, or you can come down and scroll through these to get an idea of the sorts of things you can do. Now, the amphibians we're kind of too late for. That's looking at when frog spawn is first laid, when it first turns into tadpoles. We've got tadpoles in the garden at the moment at home, so I think we're too late to be recording the first appearance of that this year. Some things you might easily be able to do from home is looking at some of the birds. So here we've got the blackbird, and they're looking for when they are first feeding their young. So the first time you see a blackbird with its beak stuffed full of juicy little morsels hopping around your garden, we want to know the first day that you see it. So if you could spend half an hour or so looking out of the window or sat in a warm spot in the garden in a deck chair, looking for this a couple of times a week, and the first time you see a blackbird hopping around, gathering lots of food and taking it back to its young, we want to know about that, and you can record it through this Woodland Trust Nature's Calendar website. So moving away from the birds for a second, lots of other birds there, the first cuckoo and all sorts of things like that. If we scroll down, what we're interested in straight away to try and replace this survey is the trees. So there we go. If we click on the little eye here, it's got a bit of information about how to identify a beech tree and what a beech tree looks like. And if you open it up, there are two bits that we're looking to record: the bud burst and the first leaf. So the bud burst, as soon as it's starting to show green on the bud like this, that's the time to record it. That's the time to get it into the database. If it's still brown like it is here, then that's a little bit too early. It needs a bit longer. If the leaf's completely out like this and starting to unfurl, then we've missed the day by a little bit. So it's really important that you try and get to your tree at least once a week, ideally 2 or 3 times a week if you possibly can, so you can see exactly when this starts to appear. And the more often you can get to your tree, the more accurate your data is going to be. The second thing we're looking for is the first fully out leaf. So when it's still soft and pliable, but fully unfurled and looking flat like this one. Again, if it's furled up like this, then it's too early, and if it's come out and it's starting to go a bit waxy and hard, then that's getting too late. We want this point when these bits are still the base of the leaves are still attached, and it's just starting to flatten out. So we'll go through making one of those records now. So we're going to record a bud burst, and first of all it asks you for the date. So the date that you first saw that first bit of green appearing. So we'll put it in a fake record for now, and I'll put it in with today's date. This is obviously a fake record. I've not seen any in bud yet, or the bud's not bursting. And you see down here we've got this bit. Let us know the last time you visited this location before making your observation. Within 7 days, then carry on. More than 7 days since you last looked at that tree, and you get this error message. Please aim to visit your tree as regularly as you can, at least once or twice a week, so you notice the events as it happens. So make sure that you're there at least once every 7 days. So a tree in your garden is absolutely perfect. A tree that you're going to be walking past on a regular basis, probably the next best. So there we go. We'll go for the next, and you can search by so this is select the location where the tree is. So search for the town or a postcode, and we're going to come down here and zoom out, and then zoom back in here, and we'll pick a random spot in the middle of Minehead. Usually you go in much closer, and then you can add a satellite image onto it, so you can say, oh yeah, here is the tree that we're looking for, wherever it may be. We're going to put it in the middle of Minehead Industrial Estate for the time being. I'm pretty sure there isn't a tree there, but we're not going to enter this record for real. So the next thing is give this location a memorable name, like the back garden or the woods close to me, anything along those lines, so you can find that exact tree again. Ideally we want people to come back and do this year after year on exactly the same tree that you're going to pick this time. So pick a tree you can easily get to, and then try and redo the same tree for as long as you can. So we'll give that, I can't spell now, Garden, too many D's, there we go, back garden. So we'll click next, and here's the details we're about to record. A beech bud burst on the 30th of March in the back garden. Then you can upload a file, upload a picture of it coming out and a picture of the tree that you're recording, add any comments that you might wish to. I don't know, it was heavily pruned last year or whatever it may be, and then save the record. So let's go back through that now. Let's go back to our home page. So once you've done that, that will then get downloaded onto a map where you can see your records and also the records of everyone else all around the nation who's doing the same things, and we can follow this wave of spring spreading across the whole of the nation as it comes. So, and obviously our rather selfish ambition is to get lots of people who live in the middle of Exmoor coming out and doing this, or in the surrounding villages and towns around the edge of Exmoor, but there is no reason why you can't be doing this absolutely anywhere in the United Kingdom. You can come and take part in this, and we can see the arrival of spring as it comes through. And in fact, as we looked at this, although we're looking to doing it for the arrival of spring on a few trees at the moment, if you look at what you can record for a beech, we're looking for bud burst and first leaf, but also the first ripe fruit, the amount of fruit, the first autumn tinting, the arrival of full autumn tinting, the first leaves falling in the bare tree. So this is something that you can do throughout the whole of the year, seeing spring arriving at the moment, summer on the way, and then autumn arriving and winter arriving. So take a look at this. This is Nature's Calendar. We'll put a link somewhere associated to it, somewhere close to this video, and have a look at it. So I hope that's been useful. If people like this, we'll try and do a few more videos over the coming weeks and months. Weeks, we hope, to get people going out and helping to volunteer, to get involved with these sorts of things in their own back garden, in their own backyard, really close to where they live. So thank you very much for listening to this. I hope you can take part. Have a look at the Woodland Trust Nature's Calendar, and we'll hope to see you soon. All the best. Thank you very much.